See you in Pittsburgh.
Next up, Russ and I are going to give our review of Videodrome.
And if you think that all flesh should live a long life, make sure you subscribe to us, like this video, leave us a comment. I think I need reprogrammed.
Let's open those neural floodgates.
Videodrome is coming out October 24th. I know I pre-ordered it. You pre-ordered it as well. Coming from Arrow in the UK. It's coming in a limited edition sets with new art, with Debbie Harry on there, which they've used before in their prior Blu-ray release. And then they're also doing a limited original art box that's got the original poster art on it instead of the Debbie Harry version.
Sorry?
And I like that they did that because if you had bought the Debbie Harry one before, you're not rebuying the exact same thing again. I'm actually really excited to talk about this movie, Russ, because I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone about it in detail since I watched it. But just to intro it, it's a film from 1983 directed by David Cronenberg in his first feature film to receive any real major backing. He directed a ton of small movies prior, but I think it was Scanners that sort of got people to be interested enough to give him a little bit more money. Scanners, which I've never seen, but I know has the incredible Michael Ironside.
Really?
Videodrome does star James Woods, Debbie Harry, and the Christmas tree salesman from A Christmas Story.
I'll knock off $2 because I can see you're a man who knows his trees.
I was like, oh, that's it. He's in one scene where he's selling the family a Christmas tree, and it's a comedic scene. He's got some lines, but I was like, that's where I know him from.
Sure. Sure.
Even the concept of the movie is pretty much foreign at this point, where this guy is the sort of CEO of a UHF station, like we're back in the day where we had televisions that needed antennas to, like, you know, get whatever channels that you had on your thing. There was no like cable boxes or fire sticks or any shit like that. He basically uncovers a channel at using some like super duper satellite that they've got. It's basically broadcasting like what appears to be like snuff films.
It's just torture and murder. No plot, no characters. Very, very realistic.
As he tries to uncover where that's coming from, he slowly loses his mind, basically, is how I guess you could describe this movie. Cronenberg was praised for this movie. So was James Woods' performance. Special effects, yes, but ultimately it just bombed like outright.
Why?
But now it is considered a cult classic, and it has been named Cronenberg's best of his career. You know,
I think it's his best.
I think time will tell for me because The Fly is just so ingrained in me, and I've only seen this one time, but it definitely left me with so much enthusiasm to watch it again and to, like I said, have a conversation with you about it.
Favorite and best are two different things for me. So I'm not saying this has to be my favorite Cronenberg, but I would say it's his best. I think this film encapsulates his filmography more than any other one.
I've never made a boring movie.
I agree with you, and I think one of the reasons why is because I think in a lot of his movies, he's got a point that he's trying to make. He's got, like, whether it's a theme he's trying to explore or just a certain message he's trying to say, this is the message, and I'm going to give you that message through this movie. I think here, he just feels like it's his most potent. He probably has points in The Fly and in Crash and in some of these other movies that he's done throughout, but I feel like the way he tells the story here is just so much more viscerally potent that you just are like, just able to, I don't know, like be taken over by it so much easier.
Film audiences are fragmented and that there are people who will just not understand what I'm doing or not care to know what I'm doing. To me, that's inevitable. That's not a surprise at all.
It's funny because you're right. That point does sort of hit you over the head in some ways, but as far as the storytelling or the narrative goes, it doesn't really hit you over the head. It's kind of convoluted in some ways. It works. That sounds like a criticism. It's not, because it does all gel together. But
there's some questions it leaves you.
Yeah, but I'm saying for mainstream audiences, I think it was just way too convoluted for them, especially in 1983.
I have no idea how people will respond to my work. I am making the movie first for myself and then for an audience. I don't really know what that audience is.
Debbie Harry, who this is, I guess, her largest film role at that point. I don't know. Did she go on to do other movies after this?
She acts a lot.
Does she act a lot?
I mean, you're right. This is probably the biggest role, the most notorious one.
I always said I wanted to be a movie star first because rock groups didn't really exist.
I guess just the concept in general, I feel like, is something that's really cool about this movie. Horror, sex, violence will be our downfall, will be civilization's downfall. I feel like that's always kind of like a talking point throughout, at least us at least us growing up. You always saw that, whether it was with music or different movies, things getting boycotted, things going to court. We got to put this label on it. Kids can't watch this. You know, there's this shooting and it's this media thing's fault. Like all that kind of idea. As soon as I started watching this, I was like, wow, they're touching on this even back then and in such a really over the top way, which I think is just the Cronenberg style.
Well, it makes more sense today even. And that's what I think it is a cult classic. I would just call it a classic.
You're right.
You know, with phones, with everyone nowadays controlling their own narratives and speaking their truth other than the actual truth. These are all just euphemisms for brainwashing.
Right.
It'll be timeless because there will always be, it might not be a TV station, but today it'll be cell phones or apps,
social
smartphones.
media.
Everything's watching us now, and it's tailored to us and our primal urges, and that's exactly what Videodrome was about.
No, you're exactly right. Just that idea of like brainwashing and being and almost being like okay with the brainwashing, because like James Woods' character like wants it, like he wants it,
and that's where I say it's so ahead of its time. On, you know, the fear was always Big Brother, and you know, this Orwellian future where the government or you know these entities will control and watch everything. And the one thing that Orwell didn't predict, and none of us could have thought happening, was how much humans want to be watched.
Yeah.
Nobody thought about that. Who knew everyone would just want to trade in their privacy just for the shot at going viral or something like that. And Videodrome captures that in 1983.
Yeah.
The world is a shithole, ain't it?
He's hypnotized in a way, but he's also, what he's hypnotized by is ultra violence. Essentially, it's like rape, murder, whatever it is. And even when he finds out that it's real, like he thought at first it was like, oh, this is great, this is a TV show, and then he finds out it's real, and it becomes even more compelling. Like I kind of looked at it just on that face value, and that Cronenberg is trying to make a point about people that say violence is going to make you, you know, this cultural decay, violence is going to make you implode. Like, and that's not what I think. Like, just listening to this or watching this thing isn't going to make you a bad person, but I'm going to flip that on its head and use this movie in that way to poke fun at what those types of people are saying. But I do think it works on that element too, where there's also this brainwashing part where there's this geopolitical organization that's like trying to consume and
that's why
locked in.
But that's why I think it's brilliant. That's why I think it's brilliant, because to me it's both.
Yeah.
And even to your point, James Woods himself, his character changes too.
Yeah, he does
towards the end.
Yeah.
Like at first, it's almost like his character goes through both waves of what we're saying, and it's almost satirizing both on a base level beyond all of this sort of subtext we're going into. It's a fucking entertaining film.
Oh God, it's so fun, dude. It's so
just
fun.
an entertaining sci-fi. You're going to get great visual effects. Oh my God, they're disgusting and they're great. It's breezy too. From what I remember,
it's like 90 minutes or less.
Yeah, a lot of the early Cronenberg stuff is really quick.
James Woods, you talked about him for a moment ago, but he's perfect for this role. He's, like you said, he's like the perfect like greasy slimeball car salesman-y guy. He's always been that guy. It works so well.
Yeah, you believe that he would become obsessed with that stuff.
Yeah,
I believe in real, like, I don't even think he's acting in this movie.
Yeah.
We said the same thing about Blowout. Like, there's a clear mystery that he's trying to get to the bottom of, and we want to get to the bottom of it too. Like, we're just as like manic about trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, am I crazy? Am I not crazy? Is this real or is it not? You said the special effects. I had no idea it was Rick Baker. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
think to this day.
He had just done American Werewolf in London like 2 years before. But there's so many awesome things in this movie that he does, and it's so like everything looks like wet. It's like it's like gross, you know, like it's just nasty. Like that chest slit. He's got that handgun, that hand grenade, which I actually didn't know what that was at first. The head in the TV thing was awesome. The television itself, like undulating, and the VHS cassette tape that's like bubbling. Like so many awesome effects are used in this movie. So
no CGI, and like you said, that wet feeling. There's something tangible about it, to where when you're watching it, you can suspend your disbelief so much more when it's that versus CGI. And Videodrome, Cronenberg stuff in general, like you said, how wet it looks. It just looks gross. Like you don't want to touch it.
Yeah, it turns me on.
So slowly, James Woods over time starts to have hallucinations. As he's watching Videodrome, this channel, things don't start to seem like they're not what maybe they appear. Like certain people he's met or certain things that have gone on, maybe they did, maybe they didn't go on. He's slowly like losing his mind. As far as these hallucinations go, by the time the movie was over, I started thinking to myself, like, I wonder when the hallucinations even start. I wonder if it's like a blend of reality and hallucination, or did everything I watch like not really take place, or can I even be sure? You know, like a lot of the stuff that James Woods does, like as an example, that he like melds with that gun. Like obviously that didn't happen, but did he go somewhere with a real gun and he's thinking that it's part of him? Is that thing even taking place at all? Like I just feel like this movie fucks with you to the point where you just don't really know the concepts, how they were executed. What did I watch? Was that real? Was that not real? Because again, there's characters that die that you clearly think are dead, but no, maybe they're not dead. You're just really tripped out by the whole experience. And it's just awesome. The little, I guess the cherry on top, or what really maybe glues it all together a little bit, is the score. Howard Shore. I know I talk about Jerry all the time. Howard Shore.
You're cheating on Jerry?
Howard Shore is also a legend. He's a legend in my eyes as well. But what's cool about his score is it starts off like orchestral, but slowly turns electronic as James Woods slowly changes too. The story, the acting, the effects, just it's like you said, it's short, it's to the point, it's tight, it's awesome. I don't think I have really any issues. I mean,
I liked you calling it punk rock.
Yeah.
Get the Videodrome! Long live the new flesh!
Here was one specific quote that I read that I liked. It says, as usual, Cronenberg pulls no punches getting his message across. The movie is tight and perfectly clear for anyone willing to watch the screen and think about what they're seeing. You want to be forced to watch this really disturbing imagery, but at the same time, you're being fed an idea that is so compelling that you just can't look away. You got to see how it ends up. Like what is the final resolution? And it's really, really great.
If it can work in both ways, as entertainment to turn your mind off, or as entertainment to inspire your thought, that's incredible to do both at the same time.
Yeah, it turns me on.
I think a lot of modern horror movies in the A24 studio do this. It's like it's too much of the lofty stuff, and it's like I'm not entertained anymore. Right. Now I'm just putting together a puzzle. Whereas films like Videodrome, you get both. I'm entertained, and you're giving me the mystery. Walking that line is so hard, and Cronenberg's one of the best to do it.
After Videodrome, Cronenberg directed The Dead Zone right away, right after that. Then
I always forget he did that.
Yeah, he did The Dead Zone, then he did The Fly, then he did Dead Ringers. That was his 80s output.
I've never made a boring movie.
There have been a lot of releases for Videodrome. Criterion's put it out before. This has been put out by Arrow before as well in this exact same packaging, but on Blu-ray. Arrow's the one that's putting this out in 4K. I wonder if Criterion's going to do that too for the US, which I'm sure would be just as good or just as awesome. But if you have not considered checking this film out, you should do so. It's thought-provoking. It's a horror film, a great horror film, great concepts, great effects, acting, all that good stuff. Highly recommend. And these sets look really awesome as well. If you already are a fan, definitely consider picking one of these up. It's still available. It's 30 pounds, which turns out to be like $36. It's like nothing for what you're getting. Absolutely consider picking up Videodrome.
Long live the new flesh.